All right, so we had 3 graduates this year. And of course today, we're gonna be having cake and ice cream over in the gym after service for them. And then July 5th through the 9th, we have a camp that we're going to. And then the 28th and the 29th, there's a Tell City Girls Conference. If anybody is wanting to go to that, please let me or Penny know. And in August 6th, we're doing it different this year though. After the service, there will be another Bible trivia afterwards. But 2 or 3 weeks before, we're gonna have the questions printed out, not with the answers though. And we will hand them out if you are interested in participating. That way, I guess you'd say you know which questions to study. That way, it might make it a little bit easier. And whoever participates will be receiving something. I can't tell you what because it'll be a surprise. But with no further ado, we are going to be introducing the 3 graduates.
Stand in the middle.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Now I gotta push it again.
No.
All right, first we're doing Caitlin White. She actually graduated from college before she did high school.
That's pretty.
All right, next we got Tyler White. All right, now we have Alex Compton. All right, now Carol has something that she's going to present.
This is a token that the Sunday school gives our graduates. You think, okay, so we graduated high school. That's a big accomplishment these days. It's an honor to be able to give them a card with a token, and we're just so thankful for each one of them. And what's next for them is in their hands, but hopefully God will be at the head. Amen. Amen. Caitlin, Tyler, and Alex.
We have one more thing going on. Since Logan couldn't be here today, he wanted to send them a video. Logan.
Hey guys, it's Logan here. Wish I could be there today, but had some things come up with work. But just want to, first off, congratulate you guys on graduating high school. That's a big accomplishment and definitely a big step going into the next section of your life, going off to college. I had a ton of people when I was graduating high school and going off to college tell me how different it was going to be and how much I was going to learn and grow and change. And come out the other side a different person, and I didn't really buy into it. I just thought, it was just more school and was gonna keep on doing what I've been doing, but in reality they were right. I did learn a lot about myself in college and definitely grew as a person. And going back, in my experience, the biggest advice I could give you all, number one, is just to keep being who you are right now. Don't change how you do things, how you interact with other people, or how you go about your daily life, just to conform to others that might be there where you're going to school. One verse that stuck with me when I was in school and still does now is definitely Romans 1:16. And if you know that verse, the whole basis for it is just, for I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. And that's a great message that you can, live and walk while you're going to school, on campus, in groups, wherever you may be. Just not being ashamed of who you are and the faith that you have, number one, keeping that with you. And then number two, another thing I would say is make sure you're happy. You might change your major 8 times. You might know what you're doing as soon as you get there. But at the end of the day, after college, whatever you decide to do, you're going to have to be happy yourself to be able to do what we all are hoping to do, is make a good impact on others. And a verse that kind of still sticks with me as well, that I definitely leaned on in college, was Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And, that just says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge Him in everything you do, and He'll direct your path. So it's kind of like, let the Lord lead you into what He wants you to do, and just trust that. Don't fret when you're talking to your advisor and thinking about making a huge change in what you were doing your sophomore year, for example, like I did. But just stay true to yourself, work hard, and make sure that you like what you're doing. You're definitely going to enjoy it. Don't go into it thinking that it's going to be a terrible grind and you just have to work hard 24/7. You do have to work hard all the time, but you're also going to have a lot of fun and meet a lot of new people. You'll probably meet some friends that'll be friends for the rest of your life. I know I did. So it's going to be a great experience. Wish you the best of luck. And I know the whole crew at Faith Chapel is definitely rooting you on. And I know everyone there is there for you whenever you need anything. So you've got a great team rooting you on as you go there. Don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Just jump right into it. Give your best, and it'll all work out. Best of luck.
No, you don't go sit down. You're chained out of your hands. All right, now while they're doing that, I'm going to ask the rest of the youth to come up, because now we got a couple songs that we're going to sing. The first one we're going to sing is In the Garden, page 212. And just like any other Sunday, just at least on the first song, everybody stand up. And if you know it, sing along.
Thank you.
as we get ready to go to prayer, does anybody have any prayer requests? That I found probably about a month ago, that I had him read. And at first I had to kind of explain to him what it actually meant. But since we know what this month is, right?
Yep.
What was last month? Mother's Day? So this month is Father's Day. So it's a little Father's Day joke.
3 are in the school yard bragging about their fathers. The first boy says, "My dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a poem. They give him $50. The second boy says, "That's nothing. My dad scribbles on a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a song." They give him $100. The third boy says, "I got you both beat. My dad scribbles on a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a sermon, and it takes 4 people to collect all the money."
I was hoping Chad was gonna be in here for that one, but he wasn't. I was gonna ask him if that was ever him on the playground. All right, now Clay has a poem for us.
Two things I would tell to you. First thing, always keep God first in your life. And the second thing, learn all you can when you're young. Because when you get old like me, you think you know it all, you don't. What am I doing? If waiting is what you want of me, I can't say I'll do it patiently. Lord, touch my heart and cause it to see. Sometimes it is better just to be. Jesus, slow down my rambunctious heart and speed me up when it's time to start. I'm ready to do my small part. Jesus, slow down my rambunctious heart. If works is what you want of me, I'll try to do them so promptly. Fast or slow, name your speed. Until then, I will just be. Thank you.
All right, now like I was saying, since it's Father's Day month, I'm gonna ask Alex, Alex and Tamber.
Amber?
It's been one of them days. Tanner. It ain't much, but it's a little something. So I'm gonna ask all the, well, I can't show the women favoritism, so I'm gonna ask all the youth dads first to come up here. I know y'all ain't bashful. Y'all was here last month, so y'all know where to go. Same place that mothers went. Yeah, I'm sorry. And then all the youth come up and stand by your dads. This wasn't actually planned at first. Who to, but no, we don't.
I'm standing in there for his dad.
All right, so since y'all put that in, we'll start with y'all, if y'all want to say anything to your dad. I know you have to get it right down like you did last one.
Give me a second, I gotta like think of some stuff. I didn't know we were doing this.
I didn't mean
Well, it won't be as good as Mo's was because I didn't have time to do it, so I'm just gonna do it now. But
He doesn't take your Chick-fil-A like I do.
yeah, he doesn't take us to Chick-fil-A, which is forgivable. We'll let it slide this time, but we love you. Thank you for being there for us, especially when we needed at times, and thank you for being really a good guide whenever we have questions about like the Bible or something. Let me tell you, he has the answers for literally everything. And so whenever we ask him, which sometimes it's, you realize you shouldn't have, this will go into like a 30 to an hour conversation or argument about just everything about it. But just thank you for being there. We love you, and I've had the most years of you, so I'm the best. Good job. Thank you for everything you do for us.
I love you, butthead. I know you're not my dad, but you sure are my dad. though. I love you. Thanks for playing video games with me and feeding me mac and cheese. Love you. Butthead.
All right, we appreciate you, and I don't think anybody here knows this, but after my first year of football, I was gonna quit because it was too hard. But now I'm obviously about to play college football, so that was a big step, and it was because of him that I pushed myself. Yeah, he teaches us like life skills, like how to fix certain things. It's not a lot. I probably make my construction worker dad a little bit mad when I don't know how to fix like plumbing and all this and that, but it's getting somewhere. Yeah, we love it. That's right.
Okay, well, Clay adopted me when I walked in the room. But I will say that Clay has been a great friend throughout church, and I don't know what I'd do without you.
I don't know what I do with that.
Now I need just Tanner, Alex, and Landon. Everyone else going to sit down.
It's fine.
Now, the rest of y'all fathers, will y'all please stand up? Don't pass them up. Thank you. Now Summer has a song for us.
Oh my gosh, you crazy.
tells the sun to rise every morning, colors the sky with the shades of His glory. Sings mercy and love, Jesus does. Who holds the orphan, comforts the widow, cries for injustice, feels every sorrow. Carries the pain of His children, Jesus does. So we sing praise to the Father who gave us the Son, praise to the Spirit who's living in us. When I was a sinner, He saved me from who I was. That's what Jesus does. Who understands the heart of the sinner, showers His grace over all our mistakes, washes us clean with His blood. Jesus does. I believe that He does. Sings a song, sweet voices, stolen keys to hell and grave. Who has the power to save? Jesus does. So we sing praise to the Father who gave us the Son, praise to the Spirit who's living in us. When I was a sinner, He saved me from who I was. 'Cause that's what Jesus does. Oh, what a friend. Oh, what a Savior. He's always been good. He's always been faithful. He came to my rescue when I needed Him most. He saved my soul. So we sing praise to the Father who gave us the Son, praise to the Spirit who's living in us. When I was a sinner, He saved me from who I was. So we sing praise to the Father who gave us the Son, praise to the Spirit who's living in us. When I was a sinner, He saved me from who I was. God, I know that's what Jesus does.
All right, so as if you couldn't tell, this is going to be towards the graduates. So when you're going through life, you know, like Logan was saying, pick what you want to do, stick with it, and give it your all. A lot of times it'll take more work than we're wanting to put into it, but it's just like anything in life. What you put into it is pretty much what you get out of it. It's like coming to church. You know, Brother Davis and other people was always asking if you brought God with you. Well, if you didn't bring God with you, how are you going to get God out of the service? But when I was looking this lesson up, it gave me several different people to pick from. But I went with a guy that was chasing after the Guinness World Record of blowing the biggest bubble. You know, blowing a bubble, we all think it's pretty easy, right? But here, he was a 43-year-old man that is dedicated to blowing the world's biggest bubble. He even set up a Twitter account, all kinds of stuff to dedicate it to. And in his story, he spent 20 years of chewing 2 bags of double bubble gum every week. So, you know, it was a lot of work they had to put into it. And here are some things he has learned about blowing bubbles. Did you know that bubbles expand more in warm temperatures? You know, you can't just go to Antarctica and try to blow the world's biggest bubble because it's too cold. That you need to chew gum for at least 15 minutes before attempting to blow one, because the sugar decreases the elasticity, and chew on one side or on the side of your mouth. This man has bubble gum blowing down to a science. So I'm pretty for sure Caitlin wanted to go work for NASA or something like that, or you used to. That's gonna be a lot of work. And like this guy was doing, you know, it took him several years, well, 20 years, just to blow a bubble. And at some point in his young adult years, he started down a road that led him to a successful future doing something that was important to him. You know, some people, when I was in school, I wanted to be a wrestler, a professional wrestler, but then I wanted to be a football player. Look at me now, I'm just a construction worker. So I mean, it keeps changes, but you gotta stick with it. And that's what we're talking about today, is your future. Some of you are preparing to graduate this year, or you already did, or in the next few years. So the ones that's close to graduating, this is for y'all as well. And you have just started down this path into your future. And as exciting as that sounds, there are things that you just might not be sure of in your future. But I want you to know that whether you start down the path to become a world record holder for bubble gum blowing, or you become the President of the United States, your future is full of hope. So I'm going to be reading Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. So, you know, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. You know, make your plans, but you got to have hope in God to direct you in the right paths. You might have a dream that seems unrealistic, or maybe you have been preparing for years to begin this journey into adulthood, and you're ready to go. So Tyler, keep dreaming about becoming a football player. And if you do make it to the NFL, your daddy will not regret a single day of pushing you so hard back when you was younger, because it would make it all worth it in the end. While you're making your plans, I hope you're thinking about one part of this verse that I just read. Who directs your steps? The Lord, right? If you let him. When God created you, it wasn't accidental. He made you because he wanted to give you a life to live. And God has an awesome plan for every person on the planet. There isn't any one of us that has ever been born that God doesn't care about. You know, why would he make us if he don't care about us? It don't make sense to me. Keep in mind that what we view as an awesome life looks different for each person, and definitely looks different through the lenses of God's eyes. Awesome might mean to you face circumstances that are hard, but you are able to encourage others in how you live through your hardship. And that's really awesome. It's like how I used to tell the youth all the time about my past. You know, by me going through that, it could help me, I guess you say, lead them away from it, or help them get through it, you know, because it worked for me. So, right, an awesome life may also mean that you are a mom or dad that takes care of a family, lives a modest life, and you feel contentment. Also, awesome. Why? Because you're happy with what you got. You're not always wanting more, which a lot of us always want more, and more. But so right now, there are dreams and plans that are being developed in your heart that are birthed from a loving God who wants the best for you. And as you travel down this road, there will be times or seasons when life is hard. Oops, I ain't talking right. And when things aren't fair and you wonder if God when things aren't fair and you really wonder if God really does want good things for your life. So, like when I was talking to Jennifer, when was it, Wednesday, when I talked to you on the phone? You know, a bad thing that they're going through now is with the loss of Sandy. But with like what Jennifer was telling me, you know, Sandy's not suffering anymore now. So with her trusting in God, you know, she's got her legs back. She's probably running around up in heaven, chasing mom and pop around, like they always said. During these times, I hope you choose to put your trust in God. I thought I was prepared because last night I wrote this. Because it says, share a story from your own life. Share a story from your own life that demonstrates how trusting in God had helped you get through a difficult situation. So, I'm going to try to read it, but I'll probably have to have Penny come up here and read it, because I'm already crying. All right, so I have a story that I want to share with y'all, which most of you know my past, or at least some of it. But it was probably, well, it was. The worst part of my life was, it started in about 9th or 10th grade, so you know, in high school, is when it started. One night, you know, I used to go over to my buddy's house all the time, and one night, a very close friend, ever since the 5th grade, asked me if I wanted to try snorting some pills with him. You know, he didn't pressure me. All he did was ask. One simple question, do I want to try? And he, like I said, he really didn't pressure me much, but the devil had made me think that if I was to say no, that we probably wouldn't be friends anymore. So I gave in and tried it. At first, I told myself that I was only going to try it, and that was it, and that it would be it. But that is all it takes sometimes, is just trying it. Once the devil hooks you, I guess, it's like a fish. He's got you. And he had me for a very long time. After that night, it would become a lot worse. It became 2 or 3 a night, and, you know, doing other stuff every night. And then our senior year came around, and we were up to about 5 pills in the morning and at night, along with doing other stuff in between, like during the day. But I had finally hit rock bottom when we called in a bomb threat at school, because we thought we was going to get out of school, and we didn't. And then had to go to a detention center, which is, you know, jail for teens. And I thank God every day that I was only 17 because I could have went to prison. Could have went to prison for 10 years without a chance of getting out. So just by me saying that I'm only going to try something, it could have cost me 10 years, pretty much the most precious 10 years of my life, just because I gave in to the devil. So even when I was on my own path, way away from God, he still watched over me. And even any time between that, we were doing amounts that most people would have probably overdosed on. So yet again, he was watching over me during the whole time. And then at the end, I guess you could say, he finally pulled me away from the devil. So even though that I knew what God had done for me before I was even born, I still gave control of my life to the devil for about 3 or 4 years. But little did I know that God stuck to the plan and kept me safe through the path that I chose. And now that it's over, about 20 years later, here I am. And I'm not going back. And I'm not going back there ever again. So like I tell Summer, and I think several other people, I thank God for my past because that makes living for him so much easier now, because I know how rough it was then. So you 3 graduates, if you ever need a helping hand or making a tough choice, just look around. Like Logan was saying, there's plenty of people here that is willing to help you throughout your journey. And younger ones, that goes for y'all as well. Y'all have to live life just like they did and like they are. So always remember, trust in God and use your church family. We're not here just to say that we're going to be here for everybody. We are here to actually be here for y'all. Amen. Think about this. You can choose to do whatever you want with your life because God has given you free will. Like, I was talking to Bob yesterday about this, do you wonder if God's sitting up there looking down on earth and saying, why did I give them free will? I mean, it all started with Adam and Eve. They lived in a perfect place, but yet they made a human choice, and it just started going down from there. But one of the best decisions that you can ever make is right now in this stage of your life is to offer up your plans to God and allow Him to direct your steps. Don't just say you're going to give it to Him and then walk away and still have it in your pocket. Fully give 110% of it to God and trust in Him. And then trust God in those steps to lead your life. If whatever you want to do, if it starts getting hard, stop and talk to God about it. Make sure it's still what He wants you to do. Because, maybe that's Him putting some kind of roadblock in your path to try to get you to go this way, which will lead to something even better. Who knows? We might have the next bubble blowing champion in this room. Summer, that would not be you, because you do not like God. Just remember that God has an awesome plan for you and your future that is full of hope. All right, so now that I did make that through, I'm going to ask the choir to come back up here. And go ahead and stand up. This is going to be an altar call. And I guess I'm a little bit like Chad now, because this is definitely my favorite song. It's page 82, I think. I never have to look at the book. But yes, it's page 82. I can't even walk because pretty much like what this lesson is about, you know, you can't walk unless God's beside you or in front of you pulling you like He was me. Since I was on the subject of talking to Jennifer Wednesday, I had found out that Sandy had a favorite song. So, unless somebody else has something, we are going to close with Mansion Over the Hilltop. Because, you know, Jennifer said that was her favorite song, correct? And guess where she's at now? She's in her mansion. And like I was saying, you know, well, after this song, we got one more little thing to do. But don't forget about the cake and ice cream. But it is page 43